X Fest that you're planning, you're going to have. So, talk to us a little bit before we go off into the fine details of whatever. And you just shared with Lady of Sage over here the thought process behind creating this.
Yeah, I just think, I've done a lot of traveling. I've been blessed to do a lot of traveling in my life. And, I've been in different cities. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, home of Martin Luther the King himself,
Yeah.
went to the same high school. But all the black cities with rich history, they honor Martin Luther King and they also honor Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm.
We've got one in Oakland, Houston, New York, LA, so many other cities. And I just feel like it is it's important to balance people's perspective of what our liberation, our struggle, our fight, our civil rights
Mm-hmm.
has been. And it's not to say that those two gentlemen are as polarized as they're made out to be, because honestly, toward the end of their lives, they were more closely aligned than they were different. But just even the appearance of Martin Luther King being this pacifist, cheek turning person, and then Malcolm being the one who's like, if you put your hand on me, I'm gonna cut it off. Right. I feel like the two-pronged approach was what helped us achieve what we were able to achieve as a people. And I just looked at it as, the 100th year anniversary of his birth. We have that rich Black history here, arguably the richest in the country. So why not? Why don't we have something that honors another figure that represents, our liberation and our continual fight for our piece of the pie. Malcolm X was someone who represents reformation, self-improvement, studiousness, oratory skills, debate, all things that I believe if we apply to some of our younger generation now would help us, mitigate some of the shooting and some of the just flying off the handle. Because if you can use words instead of bullets, then maybe our crime rate would go down. So I just felt like his 100th birthday, 5/25/25. We looked at the landscape for Memorial Day here. We have Bowley on Saturday, but
Mm-hmm.
the Sunday before is just kind of an open spot. So let's establish a new tradition.
So let's get to the function itself. Putting this being the inaugural, whatever. I mean, we're always concerned the first one and how it's going to be received in response. Now, I'm gonna hear you my opinion, then you tell me yours. When I was traveling, I saw you in studio, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is cool." And then I start seeing the comments and feedback or whatever. So it seems like it's really generating great traction. What's your response as far as being the inaugural function and how it's been received?
It's been great. There have been people coming up to me that I don't know them. I still have a little bit of that from my city council run, but there's people who are hearing the ad playing, they're following, the social media, they're seeing it. They say, hey, it's necessary. I'm glad that you're bringing it. It's at Douglas High School. There's some symbolism in the first Malcolm X Festival being held at Frederick A. Douglass High School on Martin Luther King Avenue. And I think some of that resonates with people. So people are excited. We've got a great lineup of artists and performers. We're not just all rap. There's some R&B in there. There's some poetry, some dance troupes. The people themselves who are a part of it, they're bringing their families, they're bringing their fans. So it's growing organically, and we're extremely excited about it. I think it's going to be an amazing event, and something that we can repeat and continue to grow.
It's good. Do you work your own social media, man? I mean, because when I saw you run for the position or whatever, and I've seen you at some places, and you were doing things, and I'm not trying to get off into your business or whatever, but are you off into the technology? Do you have a team that assists you?
Well, I do it myself until I can't anymore, and I have a great team. Once I have to pass it off, like I'm passing off concepts, I'm passing off templates, I'm passing off, ideas, but I've got young people, especially that work with me. I want to shout them out actually, if it's okay.
Yeah, sure.
My guy Roland
Yeah.
he's an artist. He's like a modern day Leonardo.
Okay.
He's the one that does all the paintings over there at the Thunder. So he's amazing. He does videography, photography, and he makes me look real good on camera. And then once we get the material, I've got a young lady, Evan Luton. She just approached me at an Alpha Gala and made her pitch to help out. And me and my wife said, okay, we checked her out, and she's delivered constantly. So it helps it when people are able to see the vision and then even multiply it.
Yeah, it's good.
Just have to ask you this: do you think a lot?
Oh,
You come up
yeah.
with just do the ideas just fly all over the place, and you're just trying to grab each one of them and see what you can do with them.
Yeah.
Are you one of those people?
I am. I'm very I may have irrational confidence compared to other people. So I think everybody has great ideas,
Wow.
but they just don't have the confidence to actually put them out into the world.
Explain that.
So-
That's
Irrational
good.
confidence.
Yeah,
That's true.
I think every great person has
Oh, okay,
what would be
okay.
considered to be irrational confidence. I'm not saying I'm a great person. I mean,
No,
but
no, I get
but
it.
look, but my idea is, like, for instance, Malcolm X.
Right.
Like, going into prison as a thug, right?
Yeah.
As a person who couldn't write a clear sentence,
Yeah.
and then deciding that I want to be the best. He was the best in the street. He was the best on the dance floor.
Yeah.
He got into prison. He was like, okay, in this prison, they're reading and they're debating. I want to be the best at that, so I'm gonna do that too. And then to get out and then be ready to speak to trained shock jocks across the country, across the world, high level theologians. Like, you have to be, you know, it's like people who are like, well, it's not my turn yet. I don't know if I'm not from Oklahoma. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this. It's like, no, I'm gonna just do it, and I'm gonna trust my relationships. I'm gonna trust the synergy that I have with people. I'm gonna trust that handshake. I'm gonna trust that that I got with somebody, and we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
And when people feel that energy, it becomes infectious. I have a whole TED talk on it, literally.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Autobiography of Malcolm X by Alex Haley.
Yes.
Have you ever read that?
Absolutely. I believe it impacted so many intellectuals. Between that and like the 48 Laws of Power, people who didn't go to college
Yeah.
and they were trying to educate themselves and they were trying to inspire themselves and understand how to navigate. That's got to be number one on so many people's list.
Do you think that was a good representation, what Alex Haley did, the autobiography?
I do.
Malcolm
I
X?
think that maybe the preface wasn't sanctioned. You know, I don't think that their politics necessarily aligned with Haley being more conservative. But I mean, he pretty much presented the story the way that Malcolm, by all accounts. I mean, I've read other accounts and Manning Marble's version of it, and I thought that was a little trifling and salacious in
Really?
parts.
Okay.
Yeah, there are certain parts where they were trying to delve into his private life that is irrelevant.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, it just doesn't do anything to move the needle on the story or what he was about. But the autobiography has to be the holy grail if you're looking to learn about Malcolm X and what he represented.
What did you take away from, even just doing your studies about Malcolm X? I mean, or were there any parallels between your life and his life?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously I'm Muslim, born and raised, right? So, but I'm black. I'm black, 100% black. I'm 100% American. I'm 100% Muslim. But there's dichotomy in between all of those relationships, right?
Okay.
Where in the black community, sometimes you're a little marginalized. In the American community, you're certainly marginalized. In the Muslim community, you're a little bit marginalized. So, kind of existing in the margins, in the in between, and being able to move in all those communities. I believe that Malcolm gave us a blueprint for that, and he was unapologetic about it. He was proud about it. He showed up dressed to the nines all the time with a smile on his face. He understood the power of media. He understood the reason why you should let that photographer take that photo, get the other angle. I think that there's some similarities, with that, with how I approach.
Can I ask
my
you this
career.
question? I don't know why. You ever thought about writing a book?
I have written a book. I wrote a book in 2023. It's called The Giants in My Midst. And it really was about my story through other people, right? Like I considered people who inspired me to be giants, right? So I would tell a story about my interaction with this person, and I'd extract a principle from that story that's just universal to anybody seeking success. So it did really well. I did a 16-city tour off of it. Made an Amazon bestseller list, and I'm dropping another book when my TEDx talk comes out.
Okay.
Audacity is Currency.
Okay.
And that is going to hopefully be on the New York Times trajectory.
Let me ask you a personal question. TED Talk. Have you done Toastmasters?
I'm not. I'm seeking that though.
And
if
I
you
was
got a
gonna
plug,
ask-
let me know.
Well, I was going to ask what's the difference, because I think TED Talk, in my opinion, is Toastmasters on steroids, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it's extemporaneous speech. That means you don't have a podium. You don't have your cell phone in front of you.
Yeah.
You don't have it's just remembering your
It's all
cues.
in
It's
here.
all in here.
That outline,
Right.
and
And
presentation.
a lot of speakers, we're used to having 30 minutes, 45 minutes for keynotes. That way, I mean, there's some fluff in there, and
Right.
you can beat around the bush a little bit. But for this, it's 18 to 21 minutes. So you got to be hitting your points. Like, you got to be succinct. You got to be practiced. So it's like a gauntlet for a speaker. And once you come through the other side of that fire, you'll never be the same type of speaker again. Toastmasters is something I'm interested in because to me, it's more of a training ground where you have a community of people, you're learning. TEDx is like, hey, we live, there's no do-overs.
Yeah, go. You're
Yeah.
live. Go.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
interesting. Getting back to Malcolm X, the movie. Do you think Denzel did the movie
oh, absolutely.
justice?
Absolutely. He should have won Best Actor that year. 1992 was like a rebirth for Malcolm X because of what Spike Lee and Denzel were able to accomplish. You look at the how they put it together. That first opening scene in Roxbury in Boston cost Spike $1 million just with the zoot suits and when they're coordinating the hand and all that stuff. And that's a part of what we're doing. I'm gonna bring the movie component to it. So after the festival, I'm working with a couple of people to where we're going to be able to invite, some of the young people out to just experience the movie and then maybe have a little discussion about it as
Oh,
well.
that's cool. It's a great concept.
That would be good. Let me just do this real quick.
Yeah, go
Somebody
ahead.
just texted me and they said, okay, that's at Douglas High School. Can you give us the time?
Yeah, so it's Douglas High School. This is Sunday, this coming Sunday, the 25th, from 1 to 8. We are, we've got DJ D Chappelle who's going to be there.
Okay.
So we'll warm the crowd up. Pastor Scobie's going to say a few words. We've got Seisha Primo Shaw who's going to, honor the land. So, it's just going to be a very Oklahoma, very black, very East Side affair, and everybody's welcome to come out. And we'll post the run of show today on XFest at XFest OKC on IG, so that way you can see when your favorite artists and poets and singers are going on. But just really come out to just kick it. Y'all ain't got nothing to do. It's the second Saturday.
Okay.
It's Memorial Day the next day.
Yeah.
Like, just come out. It's gonna be a vibe.
Yeah. That's my point. I was going to get, once again, it's going to be this Sunday and the time again, starting at what time?
1 p.m.
1 p.m. Okay. Cool.
So you get to go to church. Change out of your clothes, or keep the clothes on. Bring them fans out.
There you
Bring your
go.
fans. Bring your umbrellas, lawn chairs, we're taking vendors until midnight tonight. So if you want to be out there, it's going to be a dope crowd. If you got something that you want to sell, holla
Do
at
you
your
need
boy.
volunteers?
We do need volunteers as well. We can't turn that down because we have volunteers. I don't want to task them with long shifts. So
Sure.
if we can cut people's shifts down to like an hour or 2 hours
Nice.
and let them enjoy the rest of the festival, that'd be ideal.
That's good.
Right.
Your social media handle, especially your Instagram, is XFestOKC.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, they can go there for all the information. Like you said, a little bit later on, you're going to post a run of show so people can get a total snapshot of rundown, breakdown, and all that good stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Always a pleasure to see you, my brother.
Yeah, man. You too.
All right.
I appreciate you.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, more open mic.
It's not enough. Fire 103.5, #1 station for blazing hip hop and R&B. Old City. Listen, you heard what I said before that break, all right? We got Masad in the building, all right? And listen, it's going down Sunday, May the 25th, Douglas High School, 1 to 8 p.m. The XFest OKC is going down, Oklahoma.
Hey.
Masood, what's going on?
Hey, listen. Malcolm X is an absolute legend. He's a hero. He's someone who's inspired anybody coming from the hood that's trying to come up and learn how to articulate themselves, how to fight for themselves, for their community. So we just want to make sure that he's honored on the 100th anniversary of his birth, which was May 19th. And we want to make sure that the people are coming out, the young people are learning about him, and that we've got a dope lineup. That you just really enjoy yourself on Memorial Day, because a lot of times you can't just start with the education. You got to start with the entertainment, and getting people out there. Y'all come out, check out some of these dope artists that we've got. Mariah Dene, we got JB, we got Gabriel Malik.
Gabriel,
yeah, like so many dope people. We got poets like Naja Matula and Mr. Lifeback, people like that. Just come out. It's going to be so many. Cameron Durant from 77A Music Group.
Look like Nikki Knight's gonna be there too.
Nikki Nice is going to be there.
Okay.
So yeah, we've got the X Factor Awards where we're just kind of looking at people in the community that kind of embody the spirit of Malcolm X. Overlooked people in a lot of ways because, I think sometimes the same people keep getting the same honors and
the recognition.
But there's pillars in our community
Yes.
that aren't necessarily getting that, and we want to shine a light on some of those. So we call those the X Factor Awards. That's going to be a part of it. Check us out on IG, and we're rolling out the winners of that. So if you support some of those people, definitely come out and let them let them see that you support them, getting that trophy that they're gonna get out there.
So just 1 second before we get off, because the people gotta know who you are. What do you stand for out here in Oklahoma City? Where are you from?
I'm from Atlanta, but I've been here for about 13 years. I chose this place because it's got such a rich Black history.
Yes.
I love the community here. Such a great place to raise children. I've got 14-year-olds that basically spent their whole life here, and they're doing their thing because, they're thriving under all of these great institutions that we have.
Excellence is at its finest
Right.
here in Oklahoma City.
I love it here. People always ask me, why would you leave Atlanta to come to OKC? And I'm like, trust me, OKC got it. It's up next.
It's here.
It's here, and I just want to be a part of making sure that everybody who came up here understands that it's dope and that we're dope and that we can do things on our own. We can do things without permission from the powers that be.
Right.
We are the powers that be.
Exactly.
Right. So I'm a.
Daddy.
So I'm just somebody. Y'all might recognize me or recognize my name because I just recently ran a race for city council, the Ward 7 seat. So I was out there for about 304 days campaigning, meeting people, listening to people, networking, and I tell people all the time, it's like, no, I didn't get the seat. But I won though, because I got to meet so many of these folks, got to listen to some of their ideas. And that's what allowed me to understand that something like this X Fest is necessary, is welcomed, and it's going to be lit.
Okay, well, I'm excited. I'm ready to pull up. I don't think I have anything to do on Sunday. I don't believe I do. So listen, people, you're listening right now. Memorial Weekend is approaching us, but Sunday, you ain't got nothing to do.
Exactly.
So go ahead and pull up, all right? It's going down. My guy Masood is in the building. X Fest OKC, Sunday, May the 25th, Douglas High School. And it like you said, here in Oklahoma City is beautiful, just full of entrepreneurs.
Full of them.
And the kids, I went to Millwood High School and they were getting signed up for college and there were kids recruiting other kids to go. When I was in school,
man, shout out Millwood, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Shout out all the high schools
all the
right
high
now.
Schools.
All the kids that's graduating. This is a different set of kids that's graduating high school this year.
Exactly.
Going off to college.
Yeah, because they started out in COVID.
Right.
So they're resilient.
Yes,
and
they're passionate. They're wanting to stand on business, and that's exactly what you're doing this Sunday coming up. Standing on business, X Fest. What does that mean to you?
So X Fest, first of all, let me shout out. Speaking of standing on business, we gotta shout out the people who are bringing this thing to us. Some of our sponsors, right? So Class Matters Inc., which is an organization led by Dr. Darren Lampkin that steers kids to the STEM arts, right?
Yeah.
Like science, technology, engineering, math. We have the Julius Jones Foundation, and apparently Julius Jones was very excited to hear about X Fest, and he implored them to become a sponsor. And he's actually, we got something for you. He's gonna be a part of it, and you guys will see when you get there. But we definitely want to shout out Northeast OKC Renaissance, also another sponsor. But yeah, standing on that type of business is like
shout out all the sponsors.
Yeah.
Man. Like, appreciate that for sure.
And the door ain't never closed on sponsors.
No.
so get at us. Get on IG, XFest OKC. But what it means is Malcolm X stood for reformation, self-help. Yeah. He represented like articulation, oratory skills, the ability to advocate for yourself, advocate for your family, advocate for your people by any means necessary. In the face of whatever adversity. If it's going to come, it's going to come. Not fearing death, not fearing the man, and just being able to say things that reverberate for decades because people know that it's true, but everybody else is afraid to say it. So we want to encourage people to speak their truth. We want to encourage people to use word, use debate, be able to stand your ground without without drawing down.
Right, exactly. And everything that you said represents power.
Exactly.
Represents power. So you standing for yourself, you standing on what you stand on, it's power that come behind that, and passion.
Exactly.
So Malcolm X had all of that.
All
he
of
had
that.
all of that passion, power, and everybody came to stand behind him because he stood behind us.
Exactly.
So everybody that's listening right now, we got to stand for something or you going to fall for anything. So make sure that you stand behind your people, and whatever they do, support is free.
It's free.
Support is free.
Exactly.
So being a supporter, that's a good thing.
Exactly.
Right?
It's a free event. We got food trucks. You're going to have to pay the food truck. Right?
Yeah, of course. Shout out to the food truck.
We got
gotta eat.
bouncy houses going to be out there. The stages, shows are free. I got some merch though, some t-shirts, some dope Malcolm X t-shirts. We got 3 different designs, and all of that is going to go to supporting the festival. If we make a profit, we're actually going to be benefiting the Clara Luper Freedom Center. Christina Beatty is going to be she's one of our committee members, our planning committee members, and it's just an amazing initiative that we want to make sure is fully funded, that people know what it is. And there's other organizations that'll be out there that are just doing work in the community that you need to know.
I definitely gotta come out and represent for sure.
Yeah.
I'm come out. I'm gonna show up, show my face. You know, talk to some people, shake some hands, hug
There we
some
go.
babies.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? Do what
Uh-huh.
I do. But this event is very fundamental for each and every one of you listening right now to pull up. All right.
And if you a hooper, we got a 3-on-3 tournament. There's still open spaces. So look, you put in 25 with your team, you win 250. So
Let's
I don't know if you
go.
can hoop, and that's an easy 220.
250?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
easy. So come through. And we got we're at in the gym of the state champions. So it ain't gonna be no excuses.
All right, okay, Steve, listen, check this out. You heard it first right here on Middays with Tara T. Masood in the building, X-Fest OKC, Sunday, May the 25th, Douglas High School, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. You ain't got nothing to do on Sunday. Pull up, all right?
Pull up.
All right, Masood, you got any last words before we get up out of here?
Just go on IG or TikTok, XFest OKC. Make sure you come out and just be ready to kick it and kick it with your people.
Have fun. Let's go. All right, okay, see, keep it locked right here on your favorite station, your favorite midday host in the building with Masood, all right? X-Fest OKC.
Yay.
Make sure you pull up, all right? Keep it locked, Power on 3.5.